adults, for singles, for couples. I also make erotic fantasy shoots, and that includes includes models very often, erotic fantasy shoots. But today I'm going to speak about 3 questions here because I I have a question here. So first of all, Julia, I have a partner. We would like to try adult shooting, but we kind of quite scared. Okay, so that is the first question I will be answering. When people feel nervous and scared to book an erotic photo shoot, to even book, to even talk about it, right? I will be talking about why people are nervous and scared. Okay, what's happening, right? Why people are scared to undress in front of the camera, and in general, what's happening, right? But this question came from the guy. Okay, so he is writing that he would like to try with his girlfriend, but they're scared. Another question is, what is the logistic of the shoot? Okay, I do not really recognize this question. It's clearly came from the man. Okay, because logistic, I understand that it's kind of what it consists of, or what is the experience about what involves. Yeah, logistics is not the right word I believe, but I understand the question. And the third question is why there is no price on your website. Okay, so my website, of course, it's related to erotic photography, erotic photo shoots, and erotic experiences on video as well, right? And video, and why there is no pricing in there. Okay, so those 3 things I will be talking about. And first and foremost, probably it's why people are nervous and scared. Okay, to go for erotic photo shoot, right? And this question came from a couple, okay, and it means that the guy is scared to create erotic photography, and the woman is scared, okay, to create erotic photography. I believe the reasons for a man and for a woman are quite different, okay, quite different, but also the same, right? So woman, first of all, why woman is scared and nervous? First, important thing is the looks. Okay, it's the looks. So before, when I was shooting erotic photography and doing adult content, right, many years ago, it was for adult models. Okay, people who are confident in their body and people who are doing business. Okay, it means that this is their job to perform naked in front of the camera. Okay, so that was before glamour models, fitness models, okay, people who are doing adult work. Okay, most of the time we do erotic photography, right? Yesterday I went online because I had 2 couples, and 2 couples had conditions. Okay, and one condition is quite serious. The woman lost her breasts. Okay, it was a breast cancer. Okay, it's not related to any adult work. It's not related to porn. It's not related to anything like that. Okay, it's related how you feel when you're losing body parts. Okay, how you can be intimate with your partner, and how the partner would accept you. Okay, accept you without breasts, and what kind of the intimacy and adult games you can play, and how confident you are with your body, and how you feel. And I want to just come back to this, because what this lady said is that it is a shame that I haven't done erotic photo shoot when I had breasts. Okay, and I didn't know what to say at this point. Okay, because she said it's a shame that I haven't done before, and I said that everything happens on the right time. Okay, and probably now, when she is different, when she is changed, and they're going to a new level with their partner, of course, with their life, with their intimacy, okay, with their connection, that is the right time for them. Okay, so that was my answer. So now, people, when they scared, they usually never done erotic photo shoot before. They never been in front of the camera. They never been in the studio. Okay, that are the reasons why. This is a new experience. And when you are doing something new, okay, when this is your first time, most of the time people are nervous and scared, because they don't know what will happen, because they don't know how they will feel, what kind of the results will be there. And you see, adults are not get used to performing in front of the strangers. There are no other people in their bedrooms. Okay, usually it's a couple. Okay, in the bedroom, and they're together. So when you introduce someone else, for example me, it's already scary. And then I come with the camera, it's even more scarier. Okay, let me just grab the camera here. In general, when you bring the camera, right, like when you bring this into their face, and when I create erotic photo shoots, you see we start from the face, but we're still going down. Okay, and we shoot the body, and I am between their legs. Okay, so this is quite an experience, right? So that's why they're scared, because this is not normal. This is not something that you can get used to, right? And this is not something that you usually do, okay, or practice, right? So that's why people are scared. Okay, there is another factor, is scared of the performance, how they will perform, not only how they look, okay, in front of the camera, but men, especially men, very much afraid of their performance. Would they will be able to maintain an erection? Okay, would they be able to produce shots? Would they able to come? Okay, in front of the camera. That's the lot of questions out there. So performance is for men, and for women it's how she would look. Okay, how she would look. And because the standards are very high, okay, and what we see on social media, it's over perfected and over edited and over retouched. Of course, all these models which are working in adult business, they're supposed to be like that. Okay, they they're supposed to have all these makeovers and on the face and on the body to actually make money, right? But normal people, they don't, right? They don't. So what you comparing yourself with the professional, okay? That's usually the case. And when you compare yourself to some kind of a porn star or whatever, you can lose. You can lose, because that's the looks, and that's the energy right there. Why else they scared? They scared because of a final result. Okay, they scared that their content will be available everywhere online. Okay, that someone will post their faces and their vaginas online. Okay, or someone would use their content in other way. Okay, that's what they scared of. Okay, of the usage, right? And what else they scared of? You see, the fear in general comes when you are insecure, okay? When you vibrate in negative emotion, right? When you are shy, when you are embarrassed, when you do not like yourself, okay? When you are not confident in your body, okay? When you, how to say, you see, sexuality in general is a strong energy, right? And it relates to confidence, right? Everything with confidence is sexy, okay? So they scared that they are not sexy. They scared that they can't, produce this vibration to the highest level and look the hottest. Okay, that's what they scared. Okay, let down. Because very often what I see in front of the camera, people are trying their best. Okay, and it's not happening, and they failing. And very often I say, you must relax. Okay, you're just putting too much pressure on yourself here. Okay, and very often that's the case. So when people are shooting first time, right? And I always say the longer your shoot will go, the more you progress in the shoot, the better it gets. Okay? And people do not understand this. They think that they will come to the studio, right? And they need 3 or 5 pictures, and they will just, it will happen like that, right? And I always say, if you need 3 or 5 pictures, I would suggest to make 100. 100 amazing different shots in a different lighting, in a different position, composition, posing, background, so that people can choose, right? That's why we go to studio, and that's why we work with the professional, right? To have a different view, a different approach. And when you go and you're being scared, people do not take into consideration that there is someone there to lead you, to guide you, to tell you what to do, to the point that I am showing how to move. Okay, I am just presenting what kind of the body language. I am even showing them how to be sexy in front of the camera, right? So when people are scared, they absolutely blocked. Okay, and those who scared, they have traumatic experiences in the past. Yeah, just simple as that. Simple as that. Because you see, when you had everything mentally is okay, right, you would be excited. You could not wait to do something new. Okay, it's a different energy flow, right? And there are people who are getting so nervous, okay, to the point that they're freaking out. Okay, it's terrifying for them. Okay, so it's clearly that there is a traumatic experience in the past related with undressing, related with intimacy, related with showing yourself, with being close with the partner, with expressing themselves. That's what they're scared of. Okay, of that. So that's traumatic experience. Go forward. Okay, and when people are freaking out or nervous or saying they are scared, they need therapy. They need therapy, and then the shoot will become a therapy for them, so that they would see themselves, that they emotionally come down, that they would start accepting their body, loving their body, loving their partner. Okay, what they see usually at the beginning is just imperfections. Okay, that's what they see, right? People traumatic just see what is wrong with them, what is not right with them, right? And very often when people will come to the shoot, in the first 10-15 minutes, they will tell you what is wrong, okay, what they do not like about themselves. And then I spend the whole shoot to rehabilitate them, to change that opinion about themselves, to help them. They're blinded. This is, mental image. There are so many people, which usually would surprise me, and not only women, the men also, that they do not see themselves. They just don't see themselves. They see some kind of a distorted image, and they hate it. They do not like it. And that's the focus in their heads. Okay, so if they do not like themselves, of course others do not like them. And then the life is just become dull, dull, the same, and depressed, right? So that's all starts from here. How you feel about yourself, how you show yourself to other people, right? And of course, how you are free. You see, erotic, it's a freedom. Okay, it's a rebellious energy, right? Rebellious energy in terms of the body wants to feel alive. Okay, your mind wants to be free. Okay, and that's what you do. If you connect with that energy, with that power, you release a lot of positive information. You, first of all, you understand a lot of things about yourself, because erotic photography, it's an x-ray, it's an analysis of you, right? Because when you have a professional, he will take pictures of all the angles that you would not imagine, and you would not see yourself. In general, your eyes, right, pointing out of you, okay, and you look straight, you do not look into you, right? So the other person is seeing you and reflecting you, right? So when you do an erotic photo shoot, right, it's not only a therapy, it's like a mirror of yourself, because first of all, you release all the blocks. Okay, what that means is, when you start shooting, there will be a lot of things rising up, okay, emotionally, physically, right? There will be things constantly in your head till you see, erotic games and sexual energy can very easily overcome this. And in general, erotica, yesterday I've already explained that erotica and erotic fantasies, it's a repair for adults. Okay, traumatic experiences, what happened in the past, become erotic fantasies, right? It's just in adult life they can control it now, okay, and they can be in charge, right? And the example I can show you is this. I don't know if that's a good example, but there is woman scared to be attacked by men, right, and be hurt. Yeah, when they are growing up, that's the thing what woman is trying to avoid, right? And you create that kind of a traumatic experience in illusion, in vision, or in the real life, right? And then later, what happens in erotic fantasy, you want that to be dominated, you want that rape, you want that brutal situation, you want that, right? So that's kind of like a flip from first you being scared and avoiding this, and then now when you are adult, you actually understand this in a different way and accept it in your life. Okay, that's how it goes. Yesterday I was explaining about cocktail fantasy shoots. Okay, why men are okay to share their wives and the girlfriends with another male. That's a therapy as well for a guy. Okay, what's happening? So let me just go back to that question. Julia, I have a partner. We would like to try an adult shooting, but we quite scared. What I would advise to people when they're saying we are quite scared. Okay, first of all, I think you would need to set up a call, okay, with your photographer, right? I don't know, other photographer or me photographer, and just have a consultation, video consultation, and see how you click, right? Can you do something with that person? Is it, is it rebelling you and you do not want to be, around that person? Or you can think that energetically you are quite relaxed and you are able to do that, right? Because when you fear something, it's like a hidden resource, okay, of the energy. And if you would do that, right, you would go through this fear, right, you will release it. Not only that you will overcome a lot of things inside of you, right, which blocking you from not only performing in front of the camera in general. It's if it's blocking you to go to do an erotic photo shoot, it's blocking you to do many things, you see. And adults, they actually live on sexual energy, right? And when you see that there is no sexual energy, people get ill, you know? People get ill, they get depressed, the life becomes dull. Uh, Many things, negative things happening. You see, when a person, woman or a man, had a great orgasm, is he depressed? Right? There is no aggression, there is no anger, there is no resentment, there are no, these negative vibrations. When there is love, when there is erotica, when there is intimacy, there is a totally different vibe about yourself, about the life, and that's how you go and form it. And of course, I'm not going to mention this again and again, but everywhere you can hear that sexual energy is related with money. It's related with your success. It's confidence. Okay? It's confidence. Well, confidence in general, okay, it's something what draw us to other people, right? And what happens with this sexual energy, and very recently I was thinking about very successful people, why they are so obsessed and have a passion to get a great career, okay, some kind of achieve, goals, and so on, because they don't know how to live their own personal life and have achievements there, so they go out and they do it. And it's not an absolute, okay, but I can't be, I can't say for everyone, right? And I cannot talk for everybody, but that is the case. When the person is not satisfied and not achieved there, he doesn't know how to live his own personal and intimate life, he starts achieving somewhere else, okay? And when you reach those goals, it is a satisfaction. It is something something similar, as you have a good intimacy. I can't use those special words, okay, because of the robots checking. So I use words corn, I use words adult. I can say boudoir, but I shoot more than boudoir. Okay, what that means more than boudoir, it means that we undress in front of the camera and we create sexual energy. Okay, we create sexual energy, and that's what I shoot, right? And of course, when you create sexual energy, you need to touch yourself. You need to touch yourself because through the touch, right? Through the touch, warms up and it gets extracted out of your body. Everyone was born, okay, with this powerful resource, but it's been blocked through our generations, from our evolution, right? By society, by the culture, by the religion, by many things. Why it's been blocked? Because it's the, it's the biggest and powerful mechanism which drives adults towards their happiness, okay, towards their happiness. Men and women should be connected in a very special way, right? And this is intimacy. If they have no intimacy, the couple has no intimacy, then they become friends, brother or sister situation, neighbor situation, right? There is also the place where a couple is in love, but they do not desire and they do not have a passion for each other. Okay, this is also something what I'm work on, and we can discuss that. Okay, because the most probably main thing is desire comes from the place of unknown and unfamiliar and risky and new and being on the edge. That's where desire comes from. And when you have that person in your arms and you know him, how you can desire something what you already have? You understand? I remember I really wanted an Audi, and I desired an Audi for a really long time. And when I got that car, this kind of passion just went, right? I still like it, right? But it's not the same when you have it already, right? So that's why these new experiences like erotic photo shoot in my studio is something what we can bring that passion and desire back into relationship. And of course, you will never be the same. You see, for couples, there is always a level up. Okay? You cannot get back exactly to the same place where you've been once, okay? When you were in love, madly, deeply, truly, and so on. But you can find a better place, the better place, right? Everyone thinks that there isn't. And when you hit the crisis, you hit a certain level of the relationship, when it's nowhere going, there is always a level up, okay? But what we think is that during that crisis, we think that this is over and nothing else there. And usually we go and seek for another partner, or there is a very high level of infidelity going on, okay? When people hit that crisis and they are not, in the tact together, right? So going back to that question, how you can get rid of this feeling that you're scared and nervous to go to erotic photo shoot. It is more scary to go by yourself. Okay, so when you are a couple, and here is clearly a couple is writing, okay, that's the way for you to do it, okay, to support each other and have something, between each other going on, like together preparing, together planning, together discussing, together thinking what kind of the fantasies you want and so on, right? To move yourself from that depressive and negative space, okay, into something what is exciting, and understand that it is scary when it is new and you never done this before. And when you drive the car the first time, you know, it is scary that you're gonna make an accident. I don't know. I've been feeling this way. I've been feeling this way, right? But you go and do it. Okay, you go and do it anyway, right? And what happens later? You're driving the car perfectly and you become a great driver, right? And you put another experience up, right? So erotic photo shoots, like I say, they reveal your blocks. Yes, they show your imperfections inside out. Okay, inside out. And when I shoot raw. Okay, real people, real energies, and we always start from the place where people are testing themselves. Okay, it is very hard to go into a model shoot when people are not models. Okay, they are not perfect. They don't know how to work with their body. They don't know what to do. They often don't know how to look sexy, in front of the camera, and they lost and confused, right? For couples, it is much easier, okay, to start and move into a sexy zone, intimate zone, because they have each other, okay? When they have hands on each other, when they start touching, when they start kissing, when they start, moving around and doing things, these sexual energies take over, right? And this should happens naturally, okay? Naturally you undress, okay? Naturally you would, go down or up, whatever, how you want this, right? So we create erotic fantasies naturally. Freestyle, it has to go in a normal way, no rush, okay? It has to happen, without any kind of pushing somewhere them, right? So that's one thing. And then if I see that the couple is very I could just see that they are one trick pony when I'm shooting content and they making love in the same way. Okay, so we've been on one setting, the same. Okay, same positions, everything the same. Then we go to the bedroom, on the bed, they doing the same thing. Okay, then I'm asked them, okay, you go in there, and they're doing the same thing. When I have this situation in the studio, of course I'm getting involved, right? And then I tell them what to do. and I push them to experiment. Okay, but there are couples who are good with each other, very creative. Okay, very creative, but majority is not. Okay, majority are confused and lost and shy and feel awkward and nervous and overthinking and over controlling or over perfectionist. There are many things going on, okay? And usually it is a complicated shoot in terms of therapy, okay? Because one of the partners needs therapy, or they are, as a couple, okay, disconnected and need therapy, right? So I would say mostly now erotic photo shoots for couples go for therapy, right? And like I say, at the moment, I already observing couples who come from after serious, how to say, life experiences, okay? And I am talking about oncology, right? I'm talking about not being afraid to celebrate their body, to feel still sexy without parts missing in their body. Okay, I'm saying that partners, men partners, of course, supporting, right, and still having a great intimacy even after illness. So that's what's changed. Okay, so people are going into level and quality. Okay, and they're looking for better intimacy, not just doing things. Okay, before you would do it just to make, babies, right? And then you would do it maybe, as a routine thing, right? And now people understand that this is a remedy, okay? That this is a cure, right? It releases the stress and balance the hormones. It's a physical activity. It's a creative, intuitive process. And of course, it just, there are many, many processes happening when you are actually truly in love with the person and you create intimacy, right? And you experiment and try new things, right, with the partner. And that's, that's great. That's amazing. So let me just rephrase this. So first of all, if you're scared and nervous, right, you need to speak with your photographer and just see is it the right person for you. Okay, that's the first thing, because you can sit at home being scared and nothing will happen ever and nothing will change for you. Okay, and if you both are scared, okay, to go together to have an erotic photo shoot, to celebrate, to have a memory, to try something new, to experiment, then you're scared together to do many things. Okay, it's just simple as that. You want to break that cycle, you start there. Okay, you can try to do erotic videos by yourself at home, which is a lot of people do. When a couple is writing me and saying we are shooting and we are creating videos and making these things by ourselves, but we would like it someone professionally done for you. Okay, and that makes sense. It's just for a simple reason. You can't be in a climax at the same time and shooting your partner. You can't. It's just impossible, right? There has to be someone. You have to be out of the space. Okay, you have to be losing yourself, right? And shooting someone or creating content, you have to be in a control, right? So you can't sit, on one chair with two asses. The same, like I say, you can't be confident and sexy in your body at the same time when you are nervous, scared, shy, and feeling awkward, okay, and embarrassed. You can't. This is not possible to have two same vibrations. You can't be a little bit pregnant. You are pregnant or not pregnant. There is just two ways about it. And when you understand this, you will realize what I'm talking about. Okay? Because if people, like I say, when I'm talking about erotic photography, undressing in front of the camera, performing in front of the camera, showing to being sexy, right? And you are not a model, you are not a performer, right? And you feel those vibrations, sensations, your life, the whole life is affected. You see, your adult life or sexual markers are connecting with other people. And if you are blocked, and if you are shy, and if you're this is what they see, and this is what they feel. And that's how you go about life. And that's the quality of life you have. Okay? And when you go on social media, you understand what I'm talking about, because majority of people who are speakers or performers, they're absolutely confident in their body. They know their sexuality. Okay? They know. In general, how it is. You see, we fancy people who are in their element. Okay, and adults should be in their element just for one reason, because they're adults. Children do not experience sexual energy. You see, it's just developing for them. But adults, this is a resource for them. That's how they look young. Okay, that's how they feel young. That's how they communicate. Like I say, this is the body presentation. You accept that person. You can see and notice, okay, and recognize the person who is satisfied and happy. Okay? You can notice on the woman's face straight away. Okay? She can be nervous and angry and bitchy maybe, but after sex, she is beautiful kitten. Fluffy, light, smiling. Everything is nice. Right? The same with men. They can be really, aggressive and stuff. Right? So the things change, and we can see when there are people unsatisfied, then they behave in a certain way, right? Everything is not right for them. Not right. The job is not right. The friends or community is not right. The country is not right. Everything is wrong. Okay? When everything is wrong, that's what it is. Okay? That's how the vibration happens. So, I hope I answered to this question, what to do when you're shy and nervous. The first thing, as I said, people need therapy. Okay? Something happened in their past, right? That scares them from that idea even, right? And it is terrifying for them, right? So they need therapy. Okay? And then they need to go through this one way or the other if they want to grow as a personality and as in their adulthood, right? Sexual energy, it's like I say, it's aliveness. Okay, it's a risky energy. It's a confidence. It people, they are achievers. They are creators. They're going towards goal. When we are in a sexual energy and we let ourselves go, people, for example, plan one shoot, okay, and one scenario, but when they hit that sexual energy, they can create and shoot totally different things, okay. As well, I wanted to mention one thing. There are ladies, okay, think this way. Oh, he has such a unbeautiful wife, for example, right? The girls would see this way. But they don't know how she performed in the bedroom and how she changed during the sexual games. Okay, that's what they don't see. Yeah? So that is something what I want to say. People change. They change how they feel. They change how they look when they hit that vibration. Okay? That's what happens. Let me quickly say hi, hello, because I can see that we have viewers here, and I just finished my question why people are scared to do erotic photo shoots. And I'm saying hi, hello, hi, hello. Usually I have a discussion and then I just launch in to just have a look and say hi to everyone. I'm not saying names, okay? I'm not saying names. Back up camera. Back up camera. What's that back up? Okay. And what we see. If you have any questions, I will answer this after I finish my presentation about erotic photography because people are asking questions and I need to record the answers, but you can ask me. Grow me, please. Grow me, please. Grow me, please. Let them free. Yes, erotic fantasy is your freedom. Okay, and very often when I say this freedom, okay, I can tell you one example. Okay, and this example comes from threesomes. Okay, threesomes because it's a popular topic. Okay, threesomes, called fantasy photo shoot for couples when they experiment with models. Okay, and that is again, I consider this as a therapy shoot. Okay, because why is this a therapy shoot? There is another person who brings a sexual energy into the couple's dead life. Okay, so these models, they are there to stimulate or her or him, okay, to change the energy, to change the vibration, and to find the levels where they can launch in. So very often people scared. Okay, what if he will try this threesome now and it will be always like that? This is something what he would like to do. No. Okay, the thing with erotic fantasies is this: they are stuck in your head, like I say, as a traumatic experience. They need to be processed. When you release that, when you process that, there will be no need to go back to it. Most of the time is this. Sometimes people coming back again and again, 2, 3 times maximum, okay, and then it lets them go. Okay, it lets them go and they find another focus, okay, because the brain already processed that information. Okay, they don't need, They donate, right? So that's what's happening. Okay, good morning. Hello, hello. Okay, let me just go back. Actually, you are hot with your glasses. It's hot. Yes, thank you. You just double tapped the screen with tip. Double tap the screen with tip. Are you giving me an advice how to use TikTok? Maybe. I don't know. Do I need to double tap? I am just talking. Let them free. Okay, I just double tap. Okay, let me just quickly see what else I see. Actually, okay, Julia, how is Julia, how is your father? How is your father? Maybe you mean my father. My father is alive. Okay, my father is alive, and he separated with my mom when I was very young, and he had a totally different life, okay, with other family. And usually what happens is when the separation in the in the family appears, it is natural. Okay, the children grown up in a atmosphere where the father was a bad figure. Okay, a bad guy leaving the family and stuff. Okay, so it is very important to recognize that. Okay, because in general, father's energy and father is it is your emotional presentation to the world. Okay, it's related with money. Okay, it's related with your success. And if you feel bad about your father, or blaming or hating or disliking, or some kind of a negative emotion is there, then you would struggle in this area. Okay, financially, father is your financial support. Okay, it's not literally, but what I'm saying, you have to have a great connection with your father to to gain that. So so that's what I can say about my father. My Instagram account got blocked related to the content that I am providing. Okay, my website is also suspended memberships. All the payments are also closed from Stripe, from PayPal, from Square, from everywhere. Okay, so that is the situation with me. The system is trying to terminate me. That's not a news to me. Actually, right. Do you let people video picture you? I can tell you, you would not, you would be surprised. There are couples and singles that they would like to have a picture with me, or a shoot with me, right? Most of the time, these people who would like to do that, they never reach my studio. Okay, I just know that they are not my clients. You understand? I'm I am shooting energies. When people are in the normal state, okay, the normal energy, I can accept them. Okay. As soon as they want to have a photo shoot, erotic, sexy photo shoot with me, it's not what I do, right? But when I ask them that I will bring a man photographer, because I do have cameramen, right? They straight away don't want to shoot. You know what I mean? Right? So I am just accepting the clients who are in a different vibe, okay? Not like that, right? So that's how it is. Okay, Instagram. Yes, I have new channel on Instagram now because of this. I am on social media quite long, and I have lots of channels, which are like backup channels, right? But they're never developed. Okay, let me just see, Mama. I am watching you from Hawaii. Oh my gosh, Hawaii. I met one guy from Japan recently because he wanted to visit. I was on holiday, and he wanted to visit London. And yeah, and we exchanged numbers, and he just been in Hawaii. And this guy from Japan traveling around the world. Okay. And what he said, what he said about the Hawaii, he said, actually, I was surprised. It's very pricey. You know, so I never been in Hawaii, but that's what for Japan people looks like. Okay. Let me be your muse. Okay, let me be your muse. You know what is my muse? Is the higher source. Is my muse. Okay, when you are, what does erotic photography to me? I am very blessed to maybe overcome a lot of situations because I do use that sexual resource of other people as well. Okay, when your system is down, and my system was down last 5 years. Okay, I can tell you, I had a head injury, I had a brain tumor, and my spine was broken. Okay, my spine was broken, and I discharged myself from all the hospitals, and I've decided to fix myself. Okay, trusting in the energy source, and of course develop certain techniques, right? But like you see, I can move my neck. They said I'm not gonna walk, and so on, right? So you can do it. You can fix it. All the resources. You are a machine, okay? And your machine is a system, and this system is designed to fix it yourself. You don't need doctors, okay? You just need to be so much aware, okay, how to fix it, and the source is telling you what to do. Okay, the source is telling you what to do. When you are launched into the source, I always think that scientists, poets, okay, all these kind of significant, magnificent people, you know, they are so genius. But in the reality, they are not. They were so clean with their soul and with their energy resource that they've been able to connect to the source, and the source is telling you all the information. That's why you need erotic photography to see yourself and how you can fit into this world, into the system. So your body is the system, right? It works without you even, right? And then we live on the world, on this planet, right? On the here, which is also the system. And then the universe is also the system. So system in the system in the system. You know, that's what happens. When you understand this, okay, it will be easy for you. Now, recently, I can tell you straight away, recently, a few weeks ago, I was in Ritz Hotel, and there was a clinic in there, okay, and I saw a professional beautician in there, okay, and that beautician happens to be oncologist as well, okay. She worked in Switzerland. She have 25 years of experience, so I trust her, okay. So she already diagnosed another oncology for me, and you know what? When she said this, I laughed. I said, really? Okay. Okay, I said, I know how to fix it. Okay, so that's how it is, right? It's an energy resource. We humans don't know how to extract it because we've been blocked. Okay, really long time. Really long time. If you would launch to your energy resource, you would stop being slave on this planet. And then I could tell you, I could tell you another experience, but that's later. Okay, let me just finish with these comments, right? Good morning, how are you? I am good. I am translating on TikTok and YouTube at the same time. How about girls with girls? Yes, girls with girls photo shoots are happening in two ways. Okay, in two ways. So guys, okay, would like to explore his girlfriend or wife bisexual side. Okay, and the guys are paying, husbands are paying for a photo shoot, and we invite bisexual models, okay, which they have erotic photo shoot and perform, right? This is a most often scenario, okay? That I would have a lesbian who would book a woman photo shoot is more, how to say, more often is a straight girl just expanding her knowledge, and the guy just want to enjoy and entertain, you know, himself, how his wife or his girlfriend performed, okay. But it happens when the lesbians book, right, in general gay book, right? So if you are transgender or you are gay, you would book a male model, okay, trans or gay model, and the woman, the woman, if you are a lesbian, then you book a female model, okay, and have make love scenarios, okay, and have a photo shoot. So beautiful. So you are helping me. Can we make a video together? Okay, what should I say about can we make a video together? First of all, of course, this is a guy asking, and he doesn't want a simple video. Okay, he doesn't want a simple video. So we can make a video together when we will be in a partnership, in a relationship. Okay, and this is a good time for you because my partner died last year. Okay, he died last year, so I've already started spreading his ashes, and because he was a traveler, I said I will go to all the best destinations, and I will just leave a piece of him so that he could feel traveling, right? So it's a good time for you, right? So this is the only way, right? You're working it, it's working and it's working. Okay, gorgeous. Last, let's see how many buttons you missed today. It's actually very hot. It's 30 degrees in London, okay? Seriously. I am sitting and sweating, so it's not about buttons. Bring the phone down some more, okay, about things, what's happening at my channel or at my studio. I will decide how would I put the phone up. You understand? What it is you do. Okay, so what does I do? I do erotic photography and I do erotic videos. And I have a studio in London, and adults create erotic content, experiment, push the boundaries, push their limits, okay, and play adult games at my studio. Okay, that's what we do here. Okay, two you didn't, I think I bring, okay, this is let back some. Oh, she's actually cooking. Okay, only in London. Yes, so it's not like only in London. I do travel, okay, depending on where is the shoot. Okay, usually I travel to Europe. I have a lot of, I know this is a TikTok channel from US, and I have a lot of people asking, okay, to arrive to US. Before it was too far for me. Okay, so I would say come to my studio, like that, right? And they would travel. People travel from all over the world because erotic photography with a woman, I am in adult business since 2005. Okay, since 2005. But in the same time, I came to London because I wanted to continue my medical career. Okay, so I studied medicine for 7 years, and I worked in a hospital, and somehow I thought that, I will continue this, right? But the life changed into the way I want, okay? Into the way I want. Julia, so gorgeous, so thank you. Let's see here. How many you missed? That's I love you. Boom, 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 boom. Let me just continue with the second question, okay? Because I have here to deliver 3 questions, okay? The second question is, what is the logistic of the shoot? Okay, what is the logistic of the shoot? I don't understand the question, okay? But I kind of realize what people are asking, okay? They want to know how the thing's happening, okay? They want to know what is involved, what to expect, okay? So the photo shoot happens in a very straightforward way, okay? We meet, maybe on video, maybe on call, maybe we write via email, and we discuss what we like, to book. Okay, they would like to book a shoot, they pay a deposit. Okay, that's all what they need, right? They pay a deposit. Why it is like that? I do not go into specific details or planning because things change. Okay, and if we discuss the planning, Usually people don't do last minute shoots. Okay, they book in advance, 3 months, 6 months, year in advance. Okay, minimum a week. Okay, people who are desperate and book last minute usually are adult models. Okay, who need the shoot right now and right there. Okay, but when you are a normal, regular person, single person, individual, or a couple, right? They plan these things. Okay, so what I do is I just book them in and collect the deposit. Before the shoot takes place, I have a consultation to understand and know what we are shooting. There is a small shoot, okay, like a mini shoot. There is a standard shoot, right? And there is a bigger project. Okay, when we have a bigger project, and bigger projects are between 5 to 50 grand, okay, then I move my ass. Okay, then we can do something, like planning and detail. I have to do that, right? But when there are simple shoots, they arrive to the studio and dress and we shoot. Okay, they tell what kind of the fantasies they like to try. If it's extra, I tell them. If it's included, I tell them. Usually one image is 100 pounds. Okay, so imagine 1080, 1080 per shoot is 10 pictures. But what is another thing is they get an experience, okay, and they get all the highlights that we created, okay. So imagine that in 1 hour I shoot between 100 to 200 pictures, okay. That's, like that. So then you will see that 200 pictures, even if you pay 1,000, it becomes a very, very acceptable price. Okay, right. Okay, so let me just go back, like I say, about the logistics is this: you pay the deposit, you arrive to the studio, we discuss what we would like to shoot, we make a shooting plan. Okay, usually I create. Okay, what that means is I don't have a studio set up. Seriously, I don't know what kind of people will be there. I don't know what they're shooting. Okay, I don't know what they want. Okay, so we will have a consultation and we will have 15 minutes till I will set up the studio, prepare the studio for that person. Okay, the person have a time to warm up. Okay, we do the test shoots, right? And when everyone is ready, we're making what we planned. Okay, and so there is a preparation time, right? Preparation time, depending, like I say, on the project. It can be very short, half an hour consultation, 15 minutes studio setup, right? How I shoot is this: I change all the time lightings, settings, backgrounds, and of course, I help. I help to create variety of a content. For me personally, I believe that the more person will go into the zone, okay, the better it will get, right? So I'm helping them to feel something during the shoot, right? So that, like I said, there are people who are with traumatic experience, and then they will tell you straight away, or you will see by their body language, okay, what the body says. Body doesn't lie, okay. Body holds all your emotional blocks, okay. That's why you look this way, okay. That's why, all these kind of things you go through, and I shoot all of them, okay. We go through all this stiffness, face, they do different kind of things, okay? And very often I am surprised what they do with their body and what they do with their face, how this all, comes out, right? So they have to go through the stage when finally, just, and they go into themselves, right? So at the beginning, usually you have this time when people have to release this unpleasant emotions. Majority of people are blocked, and majority of people have traumatic experiences, and majority of them, they need therapy. Okay, and what I'm saying is majority, I'm talking about most of the time I shoot mature people. I don't really shoot young. people, you know. I don't, you know. I'm not saying that I completely ignore them. Yes, I should, but I am most gladly to shoot mature people, and they are coming to me. Okay, they finding me and they coming to me. And because they are mature generation, they came from the place where there was no nudity before on the TV and on the street. Okay, there was no internet. Okay, when they grow up, so of course it is different. When you're shooting young people, in terms of sexuality and in terms of sexual energy, it's a big difference. Okay, young people, they get used to get undressed. They're very, not absolute again, not absolute. Okay, I cannot tell you that everyone is like that. No, there are young girls who are shy to remove their bra in front of the woman. Okay, and they need to go through. That's also a traumatic experience. I have this one girl, I actually, a long time ago. If you see, this is the art we made with her. If I could show you closer, if I could show you, that's the picture, right? So the girl was very overprotective with her mother. Then she ran away from her home, and then she found herself in London, in the UK, and then she was trying to find a boyfriend, and she couldn't, like, really long time. Okay, really long time. She was drop dead gorgeous, so beautiful, like wow. Okay, and so we did, I don't know, five shoots with her. And now she is living in Luxembourg with a very, how to say, with the man of her dream, with the man of her dream, and everything worked out for her really well. Okay. But that's what I'm saying. You see, when you find yourself, when you connect with yourself, when you have that energy coming out, you are able to find your match. Okay, this is a sexual energy. The first thing intuitively, instinctively, you recognize as a sexual energy by the person. That's what you're reading now from me. And you're reading my sexual energy. I don't even undress here, right? We don't play here. We actually talk quite seriously, right, about erotica. Okay, so that's your marker. That is something how people define you and recognize you. Okay, and there are a lot of people who do not know what that is, right? And they live blindly, blindly. And that's why, coming in the circles. So, logistic of the shoes. Like, let me just again come back, because you see, I have this screen coming and people are writing messages, and I'm looking with my eye and I'm losing my direction. Logistic of the shoot. So, first of all, preparation. Depending on the project, how complex is the project, the shorter the project, the less preparation is there. Okay, imagine if the models are involved, right? So that's a complex shoot. I have to find the models, I have to agree with the models, we need to discuss the scenarios, we need to, book. That's the logistics. Okay, that's where I am directing and helping, okay, couples, right? But we discuss a simple shoot. Like simple shoot, you're just sending the deposit, you're getting information about the studio, where to find, where to arrive. Okay, you coming on time to the studio, we have a consultation together, discussing what we're shooting, how we're shooting, what we're making, what we want. Okay, then we have a studio time. It means the shooting. What we do usually, I start from the portraits. Okay, I start from the portrait, and then we dress down. Okay, what that means is we shoot depending on who is there: glamour, boudoir, boudoir, right? Then semi-nudes, nudes, explicit, right? Explicit, make love scenes, erotic fantasies, okay? Any kind of fantasies, because I have a medical background, I shoot anything. I don't really bothered, right? But we need to discuss this, because erotic fantasies is everything is extra in adult business, right? And when people are saying, why there is no precise price, okay, why there is no, price I can find, because one couple would like to cuddle, and to stimulate, kiss each other, and have a classic make love scenario, right? This is one adventure. and another couple would like maybe to stretch their anus for 1 hour. Okay, it's a two different shoots, right? It's the same video shoot. It's the two people involved, but have a totally different fantasy and a preference. And I can tell you that couples who arrive to the studio, they different. They just want different things. How can I price one thing, okay, if they trying to be creative, if they trying to experiment, okay, if they are like there was a guy recently, and he booked a nude photo shoot with masturbation erection shots and with the cum shot, okay, and I collect the deposit, and at the end we're not able to create a cum shot, okay. So that's why we don't know, okay, that's why we don't know. Will they be able to perform? Will it happen or not? There is a responsibility always on the participant side. Okay, it's not only me, right? People need to take responsibility how they're performing, right? So that's the logistic. There is a deposit time, there is a booking time, there is a consultation and shooting time, and lastly, which is the biggest service of all and time consuming, is post production. Okay, and clients are just like think that I'm shooting Polaroid. Okay, I take a picture and the image is coming out from the camera. I don't shoot Polaroid. Okay, I shoot raw format, and it means that the images have to be processed. And post production in general has different levels. Okay, like a game. Okay, the more you stay in the post production, the more you edit, okay, that image, right? So for example, glamour models, adult people who are working, okay, they have a very high competition in there, okay, they need a high-end retouch, okay, they need a high-end retouch. Couples who are normal people, right, they don't need that. They don't need that, but depending on the project. Usually I shoot a lot, okay? My photo shoot is between 1 hour, like I say, 4 hours. In 4 hours, I shoot 800 pictures, right? 800 pictures. Even spending 2 minutes just to look at that picture, it's already a calculate a decent amount of time. So editing process and post-production has levels, and you can stay 1 day, 3 days, 7 days in a post-production, depending on what kind of the products we are preparing and what they want. Okay, and that is something what people need to include in their heads to understand this, and of course to price this correctly. Okay, that's what happens, because very often oh, you take your time, 2 weeks, that's fine, you take your time. No, if people are not paying for post-production, no one is editing here. Okay, you will get raw files converted, maybe somehow doing a basic intervention, but no one will sort this out. Okay, that's how it is, right? So logistics. Let me quickly say hi again, and I have the third question, which I'm gonna finish. Why there is no price on your website? Okay, the price is the first thing what people want to know, the first thing. But then, what's happening with the price, I can tell you. Okay, let me just quickly say hi, because I can see you writing. I probably miss a lot of, they need a honey pack. They need honey pack. What is a honey pack? Houston, Mrs. Julie. Blessings from Houston. Thank you for your blessings. I need your blessings. I need you to hear me. Let them glasses rest for a minute or two. I can tell you I can't see. Okay? I can see. I cannot see. Right? So I would not be able to read anything. Okay? That's how it is. I wish, I wish I could sit without the glasses, but then what do I see? I'm not able to communicate with you. You see, so there is no way here. Okay, I need to see what you're writing. right? I need to see. I wish. But another thing, this with glasses is this another thing is, oh my gosh. So I had a very good vision. Like seriously. I'm wearing glasses maybe 1.5 year. Is not too much, right? And then I had my best friend always been blind. Not like blind literally, but always been with glasses. And I remember once I so deeply wished inside of me to feel how she feels being blind. I swear to God. That's exactly when it started. So that I had this wish, and they say, be careful what you wish for. Okay. I had this wish, and this blindness came to me, and I don't mind. You see, I don't mind because I like people with glasses. Okay. I like people with glasses. I don't mind, right? And I think it's also sexy, right? Also sexy. So yeah, but my goal is to fix it. You know, I'm that kind of a person. I don't care. I would when I really need to want this. I really need to want this. It's like smoking. Okay, it is very hard to quit smoking when you're enjoying. Okay, and when you're okay with it, right? So I'm okay with wearing glasses. You see, and I like because there are different styles of glasses. Yeah, let me just show you. There are different styles of glasses, so it's like you can do different things, right? You can wear different glasses, and this is an accessory. For this one, maybe I need those. Okay, maybe I like those more. Let me to wear this. Okay. Right, you look lovely. You are very nice. Okay, so I like your compliments. You don't have to. Seriously, you don't have to. But I heard this saying now on internet, and it's so true, like lovely, beautiful people will always comment and always would say you look very nice. Okay, people who caring about fitness, health, they would advise you, they would train you, okay? They would help you. People wealthy, they would suggest you something about the wealth, teach you, and share something with you, right? But you see, when people giving you negative vibe or how to say, or coming to your channel and giving you like bad vibe, I mean, not telling you, giving you shit, they don't have anything to share, and that is so true. Okay. So at the moment, I do not see any of you, only positive and lovely people here. Lovely, okay? It means that my energy is like this. I just attract those and repel the rest, which is great. You had me at this. Okay, let me just quickly spread it out some more and more. I have no choice. You see, when I work in erotic environment, it's healing me too. Okay, not only it's healing you and everyone, but it's healing me too. Okay, I already mentioned that the biggest struggle I have with my brain tumor. I lost all my weight. I looked anorexic. I couldn't write my name. Okay, I couldn't do anything with the hands, and it's been like for a few years. Okay, and I just can't tell you the rest, but it was very horrible. Okay, seriously, very horrible experience, right? So I used my resource, and I used other people's resource, okay, to restore mine. Okay, not doctors. I just decided, or I'm doing it myself, or I'm gonna die. What's the difference? I'll die anyway, right? And about the death, I can tell you also, because I have an experience with death. I can tell you about death. It's very strangely, I have not seen people talking about death. Okay, probably no one died. If you know someone who is talking about that, send me the link. I'm very interested. I don't want to be the first explaining about death. Spread it out. Okay, yes, you can now. Okay, great. Let them glasses. Okay, it was here about the glasses. Go to the Something, okay, again and again. Okay, there it is now. Oh my gosh, sorry. Okay, like your hand open, you're pretty. So these are the compliments, probably. Thank you for your compliments. I'm just thinking if we have any questions. If we do not have any questions, I will continue with my final question. Why there is no price on your web? Okay. My first education was I become a head chef. Okay, so the first education was I was in the kitchen, so I'm very good to explain food and talk about food. To be fair, it has also helped me to be bossy and direct people in the studio. Okay, that's something what I brought from that side. Okay, so being a chef, making a plan, what kind of the menu I'm gonna make, and then achieving it, that's probably something what I do in my studio, and it came from there. Okay, so yeah, so what when it comes to pricing and when it comes to erotica, you can make a sandwich, right? And you can have it, right? And you will be full. Or you can have, Aberdeen steak or whatever, right? Something exclusive, right? It's two different dishes, right? And you see, when I meet people, only then I know what kind of the food they want, you know? It's one thing, right? Then I say that people are very much into downgrading their expectations and their fantasies. They are not honest with me. Okay, not because they're doing this on purpose, but because they are not get used to share their, fantasies, their wishes, their needs, their desires. They would say, oh, we just want, like a very simple shoot or, a few pictures and so on. And when you start shooting, they overshoot and they over exceed the budget and the limit that we initially agreed. Okay, and it happened to me a million times when people book 1 hour and then realistically they stay 2 3 hours and 4 and 5 and 6 in the studio, right? Because you see erotic fantasies and erotic games and everything what is adult is actually fun. Okay, and adults do not have that much creative experience available. Okay, and when they come they want to achieve and they want to hit results. Okay, and reach certain marks and so on, so that takes time, right? So what they do not take into account is this, that they are not professionals, right? When they go and sit into the car without the driving license, right? They need to learn how to drive the car. And one person will move straight away out of the spot and you explain him and he will go. And the other will not, right? It will be in that clutch, will be trying to go and nothing, right? It's the same with the photo shoot. Even if they imagine a certain scenarios and so certain results, not everyone is able to perform. Not everyone has the same time to relax and go into the shoot. Okay, not everyone, like I say, have this level of blocks equal. Some are more blocked and more scared and more nervous, and some will be very easy to go and follow. Okay, follow me and follow my advice, right? So people need a different time, and the longer you shoot, the better it gets. That's usually the case. Okay, not always. Okay, and I cannot say that I'm not making great shots from the first instant moment, but most of the time when I give all the highlights, all the shoot, for one and single reason, I'm bothering this, and none of the photographers are doing, because I consider my work as an art and as a therapy. That's the first two things what I do. Okay, so when they see themselves scared, nervous, blocked, okay, stiff, holding back, right? And then they can see the progress, what's happening within them, okay, in their body, how they loosen up, what they are doing, okay, how my advice and direction help them to create amazing shots. And the progression is always up, never down. Okay, so they start somewhere and there is this contraceptive phase. I'm joking this, I'm saying, but there is a contraceptive phase, okay, when there, you know, and then they loosen up, and it's much better, and better, and better, and better, okay, till we get great results, right? So that's how it gets. So the pricing is, you see, I am more inclined to give a pricing after a shoot. Okay, seriously. I need to have files on my hands, okay? And then I realize how long it took, how many pictures we've created, how many videos, what the effort it cost me, okay? What we did in the studio. Because like I say, some people don't even want intimate, sexual. Sexual, it means stimulation, okay? Some people just want to undress, okay? Be naked, just cover the partner, hold the partner, and that's what they want. It's a portrait, okay? They both naked, they both came, they both performed, okay? They don't want to go, and do anything else, right? So there are different people, they have different things they want to create, right? And that's how I price. And when they talk to me, I can tell you they do not say this, okay? Or there is usually something else, and there is something else, and like I say, men very often exaggerate, okay, and they want this and the plan, and oh my gosh, and I would look at this plan and think it will take me a week to shoot. Are you serious? How are you gonna do this in a few hours? Men are come very much prepared sometimes, okay, and they look at the corn, and they do the research, and they want to do many things, okay, right? And then we shoot and see realistically how they can perform, okay, and what's happening. So I would say men are exaggerating and women are downgrading their expectations. Women also go to Pinterest and they bring a lot of ideas, okay? They bring so many ideas, okay, that seriously, but I am that kind of a person. Okay, my service is there for a reason, so that people will find themselves, not to copy anyone, not pretend someone, okay, not to fake, right? When people say they want to fake the orgasm, and this is also, a situation when, and I understand that when they cannot come in front of the camera, right? But there are people who usually don't come, okay, that's how they have this intimacy together, okay, and they have a lot of doing and action together. It looks like corn, but in terms of the feeling, and in terms of the quality, and in terms of the depth, they can't go there, okay, they can't go there. So there is two ways, and how I say this, two ways. There are people who will arrive to the studio and they would be, how to say, there's a certain mental state, okay? If you want to take an experience from me, and if you want to learn something, right, you have to come as a student lower than me. But there are people who will come and tell me, what I should do, right? They will not learn nothing. It's normal, right? It's normal. And why is happening is this: when there is 2 cups of water, right, I can only give, okay, and pour into the one which is lower. That's normal, right? When there is 2 cups of water and they are equal, right, they not get much anything, right? So it depends on, on human factor, how they feel, how they are, okay? So usually it's like that. So let me just go back about the pricing, because it's quite a long video, okay? Why there is no price for your web? Because everyone is unique, and because everyone is individual, and usually people who would come for erotic photo shoot, they do not want standard sessions. People who will find me, okay, they will choose me among all of those other people who shoot boudoir and something. I shoot the things that others don't, Okay, other photographers are not comfortable to talk about it, to shoot it, and to be present while people are having, make love scenarios. Why? Because there is noises, because there is smell, because there is, how to say, fantasy. There is, the fantasy, I mean dirty, right? Something what, is, you think it's not allowed or it's not okay, and people have boundaries. They don't want to participate in this uh, events, okay? Events. And for me, it is a raw opportunity to extract the energy, like real energy, okay? When people are not faking. That is the resource for me. You understand? And that is why I've already taken a lot of artwork, which I'm saying that I'm going to present it, but this is my time. 2025, I feel like finally it's my time and I'm able to show my artwork. And I can tell you, I came from, from a family where, there were a lot of boundaries and limitations and everything was not allowed. Seriously, I came from that place, right? And this block was stuck to me for a really long time. I had to go to therapy. I did 3 or 4 psychology courses where they're trying to convince me that my work is so important for human evolution, that I have to continue and there is nothing embarrassing because the things what I shoot, you see. If you would see what Julia is creating, okay, and when I say Julia, it's not her, okay. I am just that I am accepting, receiving that information. Creating is a higher source, okay. It's not me. Before I was terrified, this is me doing these things. Oh my gosh, right? But now I know it's not me, and this information have to go out into the world. Okay, and now I'm ready. And like everyone, shoemaker without the shoes, right? I'm talking about people who are embarrassed and scared to undress and to present themselves. And this is me who was scared and embarrassed to show my work, okay? Because what others would think. What others would think. They would think Julia is a freak. Okay, now I don't care. Right, so that's what will happen. Okay, soon. That's what will happen. That's why I'm coming out live, because I'm gonna form the army. I'm gonna form the army, right? So the conclusion of this question is why there is no pricing, because every pricing can change during the photo shoot, and I'm more comfortable to price it when we actually have files shot. Okay, because many things can change, and it does change, and erotica, it's about change. You can't just practice and calculate make love scenarios, and I cannot calculate the sex scenes and what will happen when I don't know people, I have not seen them, and I don't know how they're doing it. Maybe they think they're doing it well, but for me it will be a simple shoot. I need to see this, I need to capture this, I need to record this, and I need to see how I feel, and I need to understand from what we already created, what will be the post-production process, how long I will be hanging on this project, okay? And another thing what I want to mention is every person, okay, is different. Sometimes I'm shooting and I feel fine after the shoot, but it happened to me many times when after the shoot I was energetically drained and exhausted. I couldn't, do anything for a few days. It happened to me as well. So that kind of a people come, out of the energy. That is what's happening. Okay, quickly answering the questions and saying goodbye, because it's been a long video. Put your hand. Okay. You can do it now. Yes, absolutely. You already see that I'm doing it, right? I'm talking about this. This is a start. Do you take video of dirt stars? Dirt stars. I think you mean corn. Okay, what is the dirt stars? You mean adult business? Yes. I work with corn stars as a models. Okay, as a models who are coming to join couples. And I really like working with them because they're professional. They're professional. Their erection always on point. They know what to do. They're respectful. They have experience. I work with them. Okay, it's very nice to work with them. Yeah. Can I star with you in a movie? No, ask yourself, can you or not? Okay, you probably know the answer, right? Are you ticklish? Are you a ticklish? I was. And I taught myself not to. I was, seriously. You know? You reminded me. I stopped being. I stopped being in a childhood. I stopped being in the childhood. Okay. What is this? Your face is so beautiful. I want an older woman. So bad. I can tell you this, right? There is a truth in it, okay? But you want not an older woman. You want the energy and you want an experience, okay? That's what you want, okay? That energy. When I was a really young girl, okay, I always choose the older men, okay? I was fascinated about how they think, what kind of the energy they have. And I would not, I would dismiss my age, you know, I would not go out. Okay, this is something. So I understand young generation, why they're attracted, because I was like this. I was obsessed. I didn't like boys my age. This is not something what I needed, a totally different situation. So I understand. I wouldn't this. Okay, what part of Italy you are? My grandma's father, Sicilia. I'm not from Italy. I'm from Lithuania. And English is my fourth language. Okay? So I wish, but I'm not. Thank you for your loves. Thank you for everything. Can we ever hang out? Okay? You know the question. You know the answer to this question, yeah? I can tell you why. When you buy a ticket to the concert, right? You buy a ticket to the concert, and imagine everyone has this ticket to the concert, right? You can have it all, okay, and just dance your ass off, okay, or shoes off, right? Or you can just sit and watch, okay, but the concert will end eventually. And what you take from the concert and how you live in that concert, that's what you have. So I really value my time. You understand? Because I have one ticket. And it will end eventually. And I value so much that I price my time. And to go into a state that I am at this moment, I had to go through a lot of things in my life. Okay, so I'm very carefully selecting people who are next to me. I just don't hang out. You understand? That's how it is. Okay, keep it to the left. You're amazing. Keep it goals free. What is stiff in the shooting? What is stiff in the shooting? It's a body reaction. Okay, it's a body reaction when you are like this. Okay, when your hands are like this, you can see on the hands. Okay, when the hand is relaxed, right? That's the relaxed hand. When they have a stiffness in their hands, it's emotional, they're nervous, right? They would not be able, to do this. Yeah, it's relaxed hands, you see? They're relaxed. It will be like that or like that. They're not able to relax, okay, for a certain time. When there is a stiffness, and I call this a condition, they have to do something, okay? They or have to do something, or they have to hold something, or they have to put their mask on the face and cover it. Then mentally it's easy for them, for body to relax, okay? There are ways how to go. For men, there is a very often stiffness of their face, okay, for men. Oh, I've been telling this, I think I've been telling this in life. It happened to me. So usually I would practice the kissing, okay? Just to send me the kiss, to blow me the kiss, okay? And the kissing, and then the stiffness goes, okay? And they feel funny and awkward. And I make stupid pictures, okay, when they're kissing and we are just having a joke. But that's how you reduce the stiffness of the face. One time I had this couple. It's my early days of shoot. I had a maternity shoot. She was pregnant. She came really late. Her cycle was, I don't know, maybe in 2 weeks she's giving birth. She looked like a whale, okay? And because I'm a professional, I know I have a very little time because she will get tired very quickly, okay? And the guy, every time she was trying her best, getting into positions like that's like tough, with this tummy. It's like seriously, and she's trying to look this gracious and changing her body position and this and this, and this guy is standing with the same face every time. So he had this face stiffness, okay? And I said to him many times, okay, just relax, just look at that, just relax. I was constantly on him. I was so annoyed with him, okay? I was so annoyed with him that there was maybe 120 shot, and I had this face stiffness that he could not get rid of. I came and I slapped his face. The shock he had. I never do this. I never done this. Was unprofessional. Okay, but I slapped his face because seriously, and after that he changed his face. He was in shock, and stuff. But the shoot, I got these results and I got this, but I can tell you, that's the stiffness of the face. The guys are having it. Okay. Good morning, you are gorgeous, and your accent, my accent is from Lithuania. Is there anything off limits with you? No, because I've worked in adult business, okay? 20 years. I have seen stuff, okay? So there is no limits for me. But there are really, really, how to say, things what coming, my way sometimes, a bonkers, for example, a scene, adult scene with animals, okay, with dogs, right? I say this is illegal, you can't, just there are some obsessions like that, so what does not compromise health and safety, okay? These are the things, right? In terms of erotic fantasies, there is no limits. I was cutting dead bodies, like seriously, right? I'm supposed to be a doctor, but I've changed my profession. I believe that in this profession, I would help more people, okay? What I'm doing in terms of mental therapy, in terms of growing inside as a mature adult, okay? In terms of intimacy, in terms of feeling sexual energy, in terms of depth of the connection within yourself, with your partner, okay? Experiencing life in a different flavor, right? So there are many other things that are much more important, okay, than physical condition, right? Now we live in the world which evolves emotionally, okay? And every illness what you have, of course, is a sequence. Physical illness is a sequence of your emotional state, okay? That's how it is. And of course, the stress matters, right? Stress matters. So no, I do not have limits, but like I say, health and safety, seriously, it's important, yeah? And what else popular here in London, there are a lot of couples, okay, and in general, people would like outdoor make love scenarios. This is also, not allowed. It's against the law, okay, in London, right? But I'm okay with this. This I can break, this I can go around it. Okay, is it true? What it is true? Were you in movies? Okay, no, I am the camera woman. You confusing, right? But I do know models, okay, who become photographers. I don't know photographers who become models, okay, very much, right? I don't know very much. So, to say it depends, right? Okay, and pleasant surprise. Good. Hello, hello. No money, no honey. Yes. Yes, that's exactly how it is in my studio. Okay, it's not a charity organization, it is an adult business. And when people want to create, and believe me, okay, with adult business and with adult scenarios and scenes, they would like. They would like to run, but I price everything. Yeah, of course. Where you live. I am translating from London. Okay, and I know that you are in US. Okay, I think that is it. Lovely. It's 1 hour 40. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you enjoyed, and I will try to translate it as often as I can. I have a lot of topics to cover. And the reason why I'm chatting here is because I will be downloading these videos, cutting and adding to my website. So thank you so much for asking questions. Next time when you see me, I talk about erotica, erotic photography, erotic fantasies, couples photoshoots with models, and of course adult videos. That's what I do. Thank you so much for your attention. Love you, kiss you, mean it, and bye. Bye, bye, bye. Okay, bye, 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 YouTube, and bye.